welcome to Q&A with Stephanie. I'm Stephanie Lillian, and I'm so excited to have you here with me today. Today's question for the week is, how often should I meditate? And that is an awesome question. Lots of the times, especially when we're starting our meditation practice, we maybe have a technique that we want to use, but then we're like, well, how often should I be doing this? Is it once a week? Is it multiple times a week? Is it every day? So I'm going to hope to give you some guidance on that question today. So let's jump right in. An analogy that was shared with me as I was going through my meditation instructor training program was a really great one, and it was one that I had never heard before, but I think it's an awesome analogy, especially when kind of parsing through the grounds of figuring out how to meditate and how long you should meditate for and all that jazz. So the analogy is likening the meditation practice to brushing your teeth. Now that might sound a little funny, but if you think about brushing your teeth, it's an activity that you do maybe twice a day, maybe 3 times after every meal, but it's something that you do regularly on a daily basis in order to keep the plaque away and get all the grime out from your teeth from eating throughout the day. Starting your meditation practice and meditating is very similar in the fact that when we come to ourselves on our cushion, we're there to be present, to connect on a spiritual level, and to just be with ourselves and our minds. If we do that maybe once a week, imagine what it would be like if you only brushed your teeth once a week. You'd probably have to go in for a while and really kind of rub and brush to get all the plaque and grime out. Similar with meditating. For example, I will find that if I happen to miss a day of meditation, I'll notice the next day it might be a little bit more difficult for myself to find my way to calming down my mind. Not only that, I'll also notice that the texture or the quality of my mind or mental state, if you will, changes on the day, or maybe if I happen to miss 2 days in a row, I really notice the state of my mind changing. As I would imagine, if you miss brushing your teeth for a day or two, you would start to feel maybe all this kind of grittiness and stuff build up on your teeth, maybe even get bad breath. So when you begin to approach your meditation practice, I'd like you to kind of almost think of it like that. If you're meditating once a week, while that is amazing, if that's all you can fit in your life right now, totally fine. But I almost guarantee you that if you began to meditate a little bit more frequently, you'd find that maybe it's a little bit less difficult to start to tune into yourself. Maybe all those thoughts that you think are driving you crazy can be a little bit more manageable to work with. So I'm kind of indirectly answering the question of how often should I meditate. If you're just starting your meditation practice, I'd like for you to consider starting somewhere that you can absolutely do today. So maybe that's just 1 minute. Maybe that's 30 seconds of meditation. Maybe that's 10 minutes. Start somewhere where you can absolutely fit it in your life, and maybe you sync it with another activity that you already do in your schedule. Right before you drive home from work, you take 5 minutes to do your meditation practice. From there, doing that maybe every day, or maybe your goal is 3 times a week. The more specific the goal, the more likely you are to stick with it. But I would recommend that you choose something so laughably small and ridiculous that you can definitely do, and something that you can do frequently. So I'd encourage you to, rather than trying to fit in an hour session every Sunday once a week, that instead maybe you do 5 or 10 minutes a day. Again, just like brushing your teeth, the smaller amount of time more frequently every day and throughout the week is a lot better than one long time brushing your teeth for 10 minutes once a week, because it's the daily kind of stuff that builds up that meditating or brushing your teeth frequently kind of washes away. Throughout my meditation instructor training program, we started with a meditation practice of 10 minutes every day for 2 weeks. And then from there, we bumped it up to 15 minutes. 2 more weeks, and we've gradually built it up to 30 minutes. Now that might not be something that you are looking to do, but sticking with smaller periods of time and gradually building is a great way to up your meditation practice if that's what you're looking to do. So coming back to our brushing our teeth analogy there, meditating and starting a spiritual practice as meditation is something that I would recommend doing maybe for a shorter period of time more frequently than one long period of time once a week. The more frequently you are meditating, the more likely you are to notice the impact of it in your life. Just like the more frequently you brush your teeth, the more likely you're to notice that your smile gets a little bit wider and a little bit cleaner. So I hope that helps you navigate the landscape of how often you should meditate. Meditating every day, even if it's just for a small bit of time, is more likely to help you find a beautiful energy within than doing it once a week for a prolonged period of time or doing it less frequently. Find what works in your life though, and if at any point you find yourself beating yourself up because you missed a day or practicing negative self-talk, just come back to the core of our practice. We're here to find our place within, to open our hearts. Even if you don't make it to the cushion on a certain day, that's okay. You can still practice meditation and the effects of it by being loving to yourself and by practicing self-compassion and kindness. So I hope this helps you out today. I love being here with you. Have an awesome week, and I will see you next week. Namaste.